Welcome to the Bold Analysis, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much as a subscriber of this channel. Today I want you to feel proud as Team Bold because together we have achieved it. By the glory of the Lord, by the favor we have achieved, and Sarah successfully was discharged from Kenyatta Hospital after covering the 1,043,000 Kenyan shillings. That was his pending bill in Kenyatta Hospital, and of course that process took some time, and that is why I could not be in a position to do a video. The video with her, we are going to produce that video tomorrow to have that interview so that people will really happen to know Sarah further, or rather more. And I'm just so happy for those of us that were part of the 20 shillings challenge, 50 shillings challenge, and everyone who was on board. In any way that you came, you supported through prayers, through contribution, through the donation, and even support, emotional support. There are people who I could still reach out and tell them, guys, I'm getting exhausted by this, and they'll still reach out and tell Kevin, let's just push this to the end. Asanteni sana. Now, if Martha Koome meant well in the Supreme Court verdict, then I think the judiciary should play the democratic role, or rather the justice role, to protect ODM coast governors from the onslaught that is going on. And I want to say this with a lot of objectiveness, because what is happening in the coast is something that is well orchestrated, it is well planned by some few individuals who are interested to use William Ruto's euphoria as the President of Republic of Kenya to force a re-election so that they can use William Ruto's influence perhaps to seize power. Mike Sonko was the first person to congratulate Abdul Swamad Nasir in Mombasa even before the final results were announced. And he congratulated Abdul Swamad to have won against Hassan Omar in Mombasa. And I remember when I analyzed about it, I said that Mike Sonko was simply trying to get political relevance. But now, yesterday, while addressing residents of Changamwe, Mike Sonko revealed that they are heading to court to seek nullification of Abdul Swamad Nasir as the governor-elect of Mombasa County so that they can go to a re-election. And according to him, despite the fact that Supreme Court pronounced itself on the candidature of a governor who was impeached, Mike Sonko went to the Court of Justice, in Arusha, Tanzania, to seek redress over the matter, and of course was picking the precedence from Martha Wangari Karua, who won the case in that court. So according to Mike Sonko, is that he will go to court to challenge the Abdul Swamad Nasir win, with a plan that if they go to a re-election, then Hassan Omar will not vie, but Mike Sonko will vie. And he was actually saying that Abdul Swamad Nasir won because he got the backing of the government of the day, President Uhuru Kenyatta's government, and this time they want to use their influence in Ruto's government to win the Mombasa's seat. Without explaining further, I want you to listen to Mike Sonko's clip here.
Sisi hatutasahau wananchi wa Changamwe, wananchi wa Mombasa County. Ile support mmetupatia ni kubwa sana. Hatutawasahau na mtarajie makubwa kutoka kwa serikali ya William Samoei Ruto. Na sisi tutaendelea kurudi hapa Na mnajua uchaguzi wa gavana wa Mombasa ulikuwa na shida nyingi sana. Wale ndugu zetu waliinvest kwa wahuni, wakawa wanapiga kina mama wanapoenda kwa vituo vya kupiga kura. Kwa hivyo tunaenda kotini kunalify uchaguzi wa Mombasa. Wakatudhulumu wakiwa na serikali yao, tutapiga kura tukiwa na serikali yetu. Na mniambia mimi Mungu vile mliambia William Ruto. Yes. Kwa sababu kesi yangu kule Arusha inaisha wiki ijayo. Na safari hii hawatakutana na Hassan Sarai, wanakutana na Mike Mbuvi Sonko.
And they want to reiterate, the same court that upheld William Ruto's win on the merit of evidence should be the same court to protect this ODM governance. Because if this is going to succeed in the coast, then I can tell you that expect the same to be replicated in other areas, even in Turkana, where ODM won the seat, while it is in an area that William Ruto had bit of that onslaught, really made very big inroads. So this informed why even in Kakamega, the gubernatorial elections was being pushed to be done before even that Supreme Court verdict. This is not something that is to be taken lightly. In Kilifi, there is a decoy case that per candidate is seeking to challenge Gideon Mungaro's win, so that if it is nullified, they go to another. But then if you look at it, it is Jumwa through the UDA party that is seeking, that is part of that move. But I want to see that perhaps he's not the person going to court. And if a re-election is called in Kilifi, the real candidate that might go to the ballot is Jumwa. Now, this is the court, and this is the cost, and it seems someone wants to take William Ruto's euphoria, because we are government, we now have the resources to make sure that if in case there will be a by-election, then that by-election they can win as government of the day. Remember, we've spoken of being Democrats, and on this one, this is something that needs to sit on Mother Koome's doorstep. This is the litmus test of our democracy. Because as you can say, if you can look at it, if this situation is not looked at and the courts do not protect the integrity of the constitution, then ODM governors are going to suffer. Especially in areas where Kenya Kwanza stands a chance. Highly competitive. Look at Kakamega, it was highly competitive. Look at Kilifi, look at Mombasa. These are areas that were highly competitive. And another one is Turkana. Now, the same rule of law that upheld William Ruto's win and the same merit that was used to decide that case is what should also apply in other gubernatorial election petitions. Now, I want to explain to you guys what exactly is happening in the coast and what is in UDA's diary. In what can be seen as a strategy focusing on 2027, someone is sitting somewhere to suppress and uproot ODM party in the coast, and the long shot is to suppress what have been termed as the opposition power. In fact, I agree with people who have said that this time round Raila Odinga should not fight for this country. He's fought enough. That narrative has come out and people have asked Raila to peacefully just rest with his family. I think now it's time that his family also needs him. And with that such narrative sinking, you can see that someone wants to take over the coast from ODM, and it is not wrong. Kilifi is fully an ODM zone. Mombasa, with the emergence of Joho there, has been in ODM, and for quite some time, Kilifi has been more of an ODM space. But because if you look at the Kenya Kwanza's political strategy in this election, they made inroads everywhere. Because they have now Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula, who are part of their government, they believe that they are going to sway quite a big chunk from the Western region, because they are now, the Western now is going to be part of that government. So the only area that remains and needs to be sorted is the coast, so that any other political force that can emerge and that can emanate from ODM can be suppressed from the coast. And that is a political game that is actually being laid on the table. Now, if you see Jumwa and Mike Sonko, who seems to be working on a collective objective in the coast, then you can see supremacy battles that are emerging as Hassan Joho exits the space. Hassan Joho and Amason Kingi. Hassan Joho and Amason Kingi were actually the coast point men. But because Joho has served his 2 terms, Kingi has served his 2 terms, they're stepping out. There seems to be a vacuum in the coastal region on who is going to be the mouthpiece of the coast. God forbid if Amason Kingi fails to claim the Senate Speaker seat. He's going for that Senate Speaker seat, and I can tell you that seat belongs to Kalonzo Musyoka. For some reasons, even Kenya Kwanza senators might vote for Kalonzo Musyoka. For some reasons. Because if Kalonzo is not going to win it, then things are not going to be very rosy. It's actually the test of the opposition politics. Even though some people have also said that if Kalonzo wins it, then Kalonzo has joined Kenya Kwanza because they have the influence with it. Now, I think Jumwa and Mike Sonko, or even Mike Sonko, is simply trying to use these opportunities to test his muscles in the coast. And is just have an appetite, or rather quest for power. The quest for power is ruthless, and it might be used to even overshadow what Martha Koome have treated Kenyans to as a growing democracy or independence of the judiciary. But I listened to Martha Koome today speaking in Meru, saying that coast acted with a lot of independence. And quite people have really criticized that statement, saying that it was not independence, but it was interdependence. Depends on how you can look at it. Now, the supremacy battles is what is playing out. What is really worrying me, and should worry everyone, is political entitlement by people who are around the president-elect. This will be a wrong precedent, and it can set the government on a wrong footage. I think the Democrat William Ruto must be so wary of characters like Mike Sonko. Because I can say, if someone goes to a public rally and makes a statement that because the government, now this is our government, we're going to do this, to someone who is listening out there can look at it as a politician who is now saying, because we have a government, we can do anything we want. This to me is setting wrong precedents, because it actually sets you, the government, against the people. And remember, the people have the power. This is not going to be a very conducive approach by Mike Sonko and the team, who feel that because we formed government, there is a sense of entitlement. Of course, they're entitled to it. But remember that this country is governed by a rule of law. And whether you voted for William Ruto or no, hiyo sheria inakata kila upande. Now that's the beauty of it. Lastly, I think the deep commercial interest in the coast.